Good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome into the Dirt Racing Network, part of the Digital Sim Sports Network, and our live coverage. The American Dirt 6 Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars. Eldora Speedway this evening. 43 drivers in attendance. Couple of minutes, they'll get ready to hit qualifying. We'll split them up into a number of heat races, then a couple of B mains, and our big 30-lap feature. Round number 2 tonight for these guys. We'll have the first 8 races of the series every Friday night for you. It's been a pretty full week all week this week. It won't be as bad next week as we head to the holidays. We'll have 2 shows on Monday, 2 shows on Sunday, 2 shows on Monday, 1 show on Tuesday, and this show again next Friday. Everybody else is on break or taking the holiday evenings off. That's pretty much the same for the next week over New Year's as well. If it's your first time watching, we don't care where you're at. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, and Trovo, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, like, share, and follow. But absolutely, be sure that you say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. If you got a favorite driver, make sure you shout them out. You never know who's watching. If you're on the Facebook page, at the top of that page, there is a pinned post. Click that link and follow it. You can find our Dirt Racing Network and Dirt Slingers Racing League also, with their t-shirts available. Gonna have some hats before too long, I think. Still trying to get the logos digitized correctly so they look good when they stitch them. Practice session coming to a close. We will take all 43 cars, give them 2 laps to qualify. We will find out who gets split into what heat races this evening here. All right, that'll wrap up that session for sure. We will trade over to qualifying. This should not take more than a couple of minutes here. They get a couple of laps or just a few minutes. We'll watch drivers. Joseph Grandy already trying to roll out. There he comes past the camera. 518 car. He's not hard to spot out there, that's for sure. Number of drivers now on the speedway. Dustin Sargent, Larry Moody are out there. Josh Whiteman, Michael Cooper, Trevor Royer. We'll go watch Mr. Royer. Grandy with a 15:02 to kick things off. He gets bumped by Josh Whiteman immediately. 14:92 for Whiteman. Guys got to be careful along the top up there. Grandy goes back to the top, 14:87. Good a lap for him. He's trying to follow Kenny Hoffman. Here comes Kenny Hoffman. Ernie Williams is out on the racetrack as well. Grandy's still on top. Grimm got close. Missed it by that much. Now John Helms goes 7/100ths quicker, 14:80 for Mr. Helms. Ernie Williams, 4th quick. And you'll see that yellow block's got 22 in it, but he's actually the 91. Williams did not improve on his second lap. Let's go and watch Justin Stoles as session's going to end. Some of these guys waited too long to get out, and they're not going to get a time. So we will wait and get ready for the lineup. looking for drivers to start. Getting out on to the track here. This is how we're going to line them up. It's going to be the 21 of John Helms on the pole with Josh Whiteman, the 24 beside him. Kenny Hoffman, the 11, row 2 to the inside with Ryan Scheidt. Scheidt will be in the 10 car, not the 28. Andrew Allen, the 26, row 3 inside with Brad Waite, and the 814 on his outside. Liam Garrison, another 10 car in the field. He'll be the white wing with the green numbers. He starts on the inside of row number 4 next to the 32 of Travis Jacobson, and then the 23 of Justin Stoles on the back. 9 cars, 5 heats. Ooh. The old Grinch. Just got done watching that a little while ago with the wife. Great movie. A lot of fun. Good adaptation to the live version from the cartoon version. All right, they're going to let the pace truck get out in front and get out of the way. And then our leaders on the front row, Helms and Whiteman, are going to get things started for us. Kickoff of round number 2 for the American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars right here at Eldora. They're coming out of turn number 4. Helms on the throttle. Green flag in the air. Helms already up to the top track, already showing signs of getting dry early. Stoles got out of shape back there. He's going to stay at the back of the group, but the first lap goes to the 21 car. He's got a pretty sizable lead. Hoffman moved up to second. Whiteman is right behind him. One tiny bobble out of the 11, and Whiteman's either going to be on top of him or right on by him. Looks like Ryan Scheidt has settled into the 4th spot. Allen trying to hang on to 5th. Car come down off of the berm. Got a little out of shape. He's going to lose a spot with a slider to Brad Waite in that 814 car. Nothing has changed in the top 4. This is the best battle on the track right here, and I think that battle could be over right there. With that rim ride out of the 814 of Waite, he pulls away from Allen. Garrison and Jacobson are already off track, so only 7 cars remain. Helms around to the front stretch. 4 laps remaining, and he enjoys about 1 second over Whiteman. Whiteman got around Kenny Hoffman while we were back there looking at that battle for 4th and 5th. Or 5th and 6th, I guess it is. And now Whiteman with a problem. Got a little out of shape on the cushion, and there goes Hoffman back around him once again. They're just going to trade sliders from end to end on the track. Hoffman will go in. He couldn't clear him that time. They're going to be side by side up the backstretch. And I think Kenny Hoffman's going to get the better of this, although Ryan Scheidt tried to go 2 for 1 right there. White flag in the air. Helms is gone. He's in 3 and 4, and the other guys are just getting up on the backstretch. So John Helms is going to win Heat 1. Hoffman, Whiteman, Scheidt, Waite, Allen, Stoles, Garrison, Jacobson. And we kick things off with a runaway win this evening. Get ready for Starting lineup for heat number 2, it's going to be Joseph Grandy, the 518. We showed him in qualifying there. On the pole, he'll have the 40 of Chase Stewart beside. Brayson Riddle, row 2 to the inside in the 16 car. Next to Cole Ferguson in the 34. Garrett Pepiot, 47 car, row 3 in the inside starting line. Next to Michael Cooper. Cooper in the 42. The 81 of Tanner Butler, row 4 inside with Andy Patton in the 87 on the outside. And Jack Burke on the back. 9 more cars. First one was an absolute runaway. We'll see if this one looks the same. Pace truck already headed in. We're ready to go green for heat number 2.
Green, green, green.
Grandy found a way to get a good start. He'll lead him into 1 and 2. They'll be 3 wide behind him. That didn't last long, but they're 2 wide for second right now. Riddle and Stewart were side by side. They're still side by side at the line. Looked like Stewart had it, but not by much. He gets a little wobbly getting into 1 and 2, and he's going to give the spot up down the backstretch, but he'll fight back with the momentum. He'll keep it side by side. All over the racetrack behind it. Oh, hard into the wall. That was Ferguson in the 34. Actually, the 81 on the side of the car was 34 on the ticker. So it looks like the upper part of this track starting to get a little bumpy. Might be a little interesting if they continue to try to run right up against the wall. Somebody will definitely eat the fence. 5 to go. Grandy, Stewart, Riddle, Ferguson, Cooper, Pepiot, Burke, Butler, Andy Patton. Everybody's still on the track. And they are about a third of a lap from the point to the rear right now. Some of these drivers working overtime. First caution, Jack Burke is going to have an issue. And let's go have a look at what happens to Mr. Burke in the 17. He is running about 6th. Oh, a little contact there with Garrett Pepiot. He just spun it around. He'll be able to get it rolling again and finish the heat race. We'll have 3 laps remaining. Heat number 2. Just a couple of laps to go when we take the green. First caution of the evening for a little lazy spin down the backstretch after mild contact between Pepiot in the 47 and Burke in the 17. So we should get 1 to go here. Oh, lights do go off on the pace truck. They'll all get single file. They'll close up nose to tail before we get down to turn number 4. And we'll get ready for a restart. Last week was super dusty, and it looks like this week is going to be pretty dusty here at Eldora as well. Grandy
Green, green, green.
tried to hold him as long as he could. Jumps on the throttle. He gets away clean. Stewart Riddle still second and third. Ferguson's still fourth in the 81, but man, he is working double time in there across the tops of these corners. There comes Pepiot with a slider for fifth, and that did not stick. He's not done. He's going to go after Cooper one more time. This time Cooper able to run just a tiny bit wider and get around. We're coming around. It's going to be white flag time for Joseph Grandy. The 518 hanging tough at the top. He about bumped the fence there. That could have been disastrous, but he's going to get out of four. He wins heat two. Stewart Riddle, Ferguson, the top four. Cooper in fifth. Pepiot, Butler, Patton, and Burke. So we'll look at the starting lineup for our third heat of five. Be the 91 of Old Whiskers Ernie Williams on the pole. Jesse Dacus next to him in the 7. 43 of Patrick Spangler, row 2 inside with Sean Smith in the 30. And your third row, the 79 Dean Reynolds, the 73 Larry Moody inside and out. Scott Thomas in the 6 inside of row number 4 next to the 7 of the Kiwi Conquerors, Craig Silby and Diego Plaza on the back. So Dacus in the 13, not the 7 tonight. Must be just a 410 thing that he runs a 7 car. Dean Reynolds in our Jack Hodenshield throwback car. I said something about that last week. He caught it in the broadcast, and he sent me a message to confirm that's what it was. And I don't care, man. Throwback cars, I dig them. When I can see them and I spot them, man, I love it. Green flag on heat 3. Man, that was a tight start right there amongst everybody. They were ready to go. Down the backstretch, Williams grabs the point for the moment. He gets up on that rough stuff at the top. Didn't slow him down a whole lot. I saw a pass on the top from Spangler, who got around Sean Smith, I'm sorry, up top, got around Patrick Spangler. Spangler fourth, Reynolds is fifth, Silby and Thomason are going at it. That is going to be 6 and 7. Moody right behind them. Diego Plaza just a tick off of Larry Moody at the very back of this thing. But we're going to go back here second, third, and fourth because they are still fighting hard. Dacus to the bottom, gets a good run on the exit. He's going to maintain his position. But Smith is closing in very tight up behind him. Now Smith goes for the slider in 3 and 4, goes all the way from the inside wall to the outside wall, pulls alongside, and still couldn't take the spot away. Williams stretching it out 3/4 of a second. This is the battle right here, and then a battle for 6th. Behind that, it's Reynolds and is it Silby? Yeah, Silby and Reynolds going at it. Those two have history, so we'll see what comes out of this. But Smith now has taken the second spot. Spangler got around Dacus as well. I'm going to say that maybe the 13 caught a little bit of fence. And he's right up against the outside wall, easing up onto Spangler. Spangler went for the slider, couldn't make it work. He gives up the spot. We're 2 to go. And I'm not sure if Spangler might not have some kind of little problem there because that car looks like it's wanting to jump to the right real bad. Could just be the way he's taking those bumps. Ernie Williams out in front on the white flag lap. He'll get through turns 3 and 4. And Williams will punch his ticket to the A main. Smith second, Dacus, Spangler, Reynolds, Silby, Plaza, Moody, and Scott Thomason rounding things out at the back. That should be all of our 9 car heats. Now we should drop to 8 cars. And we should have 2 more remaining before we get into B main action tonight. We'll start the 4th heat like this. Sean English, the 960. He'll have the pole next to the 90 of Trevor Royer. Chase Wolf on the inside of row number 2 next to Corey Jans in the 138. Chuck Gentile, the 88 car. He's got Steven Stewart in the 29 on his outside. And your final row for heat number 5. It's going to be Randy Fritsch in the 72 and D. Allen in the 25. Now the whole string of those Christmas cars right there. '14, the 88, the 72. Pace trucks out of the way, and Sean English got a good start. Trevor Royer, not so much. It looks like Royer is going to have to fight just to stay 3rd right now as Chase Wolf got around him. So Royer 3rd, Fritsch in a battle, trying to keep the 4th spot, but he's got a couple of cars looking inside and out. That's Jans and Gentile. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Fritsch. Fritsch. Caught some fence right there. Gentile went up the high side. Oh. Yeah, 3 wide. You're on the bottom. So Fritsch will have to work out of one of the B mains, try to make his way to the feature this evening. Get them all single filed up. Lights will go off this time. We should be able to go back to green flag racing next time around. All right, should be going green out of turn number 4. Sean English ready to get us restarted. English, Wolf, Royer, Gentile, and Stewart are the top 5 right now. And the green flag back over the speedway. Single file, we're going to take a look a little further back because Jans is going to try to go 3 wide again. This time he is going to get past both drivers. We're going to have contact off the right rear as the 14 of Allen and the 40 of Stewart. Or I'm sorry, the 29 of Stewart made a lot of contact and it broke the suspension on that car. He'll get it off the track. Before the leaders get around, we're going to stay green. English, 0.6 of a second out in front. Wolf and Royer just riding nose to tail. They are safe right now. They have got about 1.5 seconds over the battle for 4th. Jans and Gentile. Jans went right by on the slider, but Gentile's going to try to go right back at him down in 3 and 4. He takes it to the outside, and it didn't quite stick for him. As we're inside 4 to go. There's contact a little closer to the front. Royer, slide job from Wolf, and Royer took the brunt of that right on the front end, and now the car up to the fence. Hopefully he didn't break anything. He's going to have a tough time hanging on for 2 more full laps, because Jans and Gentile seem to be closing the gap here. English 1.5 seconds out in front. He's coming to the white flag already. Sean English already headed into turns 3 and 4. He is going to win our 4th heat. Chase Wolf, Trevor Royer. 2nd and 3rd, and then Gentile, Jans, Allen, Stewart, and Fritsch. So 4 in the books. We're going to have 1 more that we need to get done before we can move on. We're ready for him to line up with the 91 of Matt Grimm on the pole, next to Rick Mayne in the 187. Dylan Berg, the 14, a row 2 to the inside, and he's got Dustin Sargent in the 77 on his outside. James Rooney, 27, row 3 inside with Richie Gaines in the 11 on the outside there. And the 831 of Tyler Flynn inside the final row with Chris Schaefer in that 20 car on the outside of that row. The 20 is actually going to be the 9, and the 831 is the 1 car, I think. Ready for green flag action. Matt Grimm on the hammer, and away we go. He's going to get a fantastic start. They're going to be jammed up behind that. Starting to get him squared away. Maine nicked the fence down the back stretch. It slowed him up enough. Berg on the bottom thought about taking a shot at him. Could not get the car alongside and try to finish the slider down the end of the backstretch, but this time he slides into 3rd right in front of Dustin Sargent. Sargent out of shape off of both 2 and 4. Car really getting twitchy. Top 4 broke away from 5th place Richie Gaines. And then Schaefer in that 9 car, and Flynn back here in the 1. Flynn's got all kinds of problems. There goes Rooney past him, and Rooney's half a track behind. I don't know what happened to James Rooney, but he is off the pace and way, way at the back. Now Rick Mayne has settled in after his first couple of laps. He had problems down the backstretch, nicking the fence. And he is reeling in your leader. They're coming around to 5 to go. Berg still 3rd. Sargent is still 4th. Top 4 about 4 seconds ahead of Richie Gaines in the 5th spot. Schaefer is reeling in Gaines. Every spot counts because that's going to help you determine where you start in the B main if you don't transfer through. Closer to the front yard, the easier it is to get a spot in that feature. 3 to go for Grimm. Richie Gaines, or Rick Mayne, I mean, once again finding problems out of turn 2. That outside wall is just jumping out there and getting a hold of him. But we'll come around and pick up the white flag for the final heat race of the evening. And Matt Grimm's had his way. He started on the pole, and he has stayed out front the entire way. So Grimm on to the A main. Rick Mayne 2nd, Berg, Sargent, Schaefer. Schaefer got around Gaines there about a lap and a half ago. He'll move himself to 5th. Gaines is 6th. Rudy in the 7th spot, and Tyler Flynn with an early exit. So we will get ready to move on to a couple of B mains here. And a lot of cars in our B mains. Whiteman and Dacus on the front row. Berg and Ferguson, row 2. Gentile and Waite in row 3. Row 4 is Reynolds and Schaefer. Pepiot and Allen in row 5. And that's D. Allen, then Andrew Allen. And Diego Plaza in row 6. Rooney and Patton, row 7. And row 8, that's going to be Fritsch and Jacobson. So we'll get rid of about 14 of them, I think, here. I need to go see what the transfer numbers were. I wasn't able to see that beforehand. It looks like no D. Allen and no Travis Jacobson. So we'll be down to 14 cars. Couple of spots up for grabs in each one of these. A lot of cars. Handful of laps. Only 12 laps. You see the dust starting to rise. As they will make their way around. Track already drying out, already very treacherous. It is going to be a handful for the feature. All right, pace trucks in. We are ready to go with the first of 2B mains. The green flag in the air. Good start for both the drivers on the front row. Whiteman goes right up in front of Dacus. This time down in 3 and 4. Dacus with the slider. I don't know, can Whiteman cross him over? Sure he can. So Josh Whiteman leading lap 1. Dacus, Berg, and Ferguson are side by side. Now they get it singled out. Ferguson, then Berg, Gentile in 5th. Waite, Reynolds, Pepiot is back here, and I thought Pepiot was going to get into Dean Reynolds there for just a moment. Car hopped down off of that berm up there in turn number 4. He was able to grab it back up. He's going to lose 2 spots. Pepiot back to 9th. A lot closer to the front now. There's single file, and that time Josh Whiteman clips the fence out of 2. That opens things up. Dacus right on his nose, and they hit each other. Dacus really got a bunch of damage, but it looks like the wing did not come off the car. Optical illusion, folks. It's a weird iRacing optical illusion, but he's going to start falling. There is damage to that car. He can't steer it. Front end is completely broken. I saw it when he went in the corners. The right front turned right. The left front turned left. No cautions, and man, are a lot of cars on the hook for that already. Dacus, Pepiot, Rooney, and then with Allen and Jacobson out, you've eliminated 5 cars real quick here. But Ferguson now out front. I think Josh Whiteman might have damage to the car, and he is going to have to try to hang on, but Chuck Gentile closing that gap up, and there's a lot of laps left. Four to go. Ferguson and Whiteman. Gentile had a problem coming out of 2. He lost some ground, maybe about 0.3 of a second to Josh Whiteman. And Whiteman looks like he is still really trying to be careful with that car. just wrestling it as gently as he can, getting it through the corners. Finding just enough cushion to lean on up there at the top. White flags in the air. Ferguson to Whiteman. Over a second out in front. Chuck Gentile, Dylan Berg, and Brad Waite. Third, fourth, and fifth. So Ferguson and Whiteman are going to punch tickets into the A main. Gentile third, Berg, Waite, Reynolds, Allen, Schaefer, Plaza, Patton, Fritsch, Dacus, Rooney, Pepiot, and then your two DNS drivers, Allen and Jacobs. So our second and final B main. Another 12 laps. Another couple cars going to transfer in. It's going to be Brayson Riddle, Trevor Royer on the front row, Ryan Scheidt, Patrick Spangler, row 2, Dustin Sargent, Michael Cooper, row 3, Corey Jans and Justin Stolzen, row 4. Row 5, Craig Silby and Richie Gaines, Tanner Butler and Steven Stewart in row 6, Liam Garrison, Larry Moody in row 7, Tyler Flynn and Jack Burke in row 8, and Scotty Thomason. Shotgun Charlie 4. Our final B-man looks like Liam Garrison. Will be a DNS, so we'll have 16 drivers. Final couple of spots up for grabs here in tonight's AMA. I thought for sure Trevor Royer had already transferred through. But I'm silly, and sometimes I miss the mark. .39 of Patrick Spangler. There's Ryan Scheidt. Look at that 23 machine of Justin Stoles. All right, green this time. And we will have our field set. They'll have a little bit of a warm-up, and then we will be ready to go A main racing. All right, pace truck getting out of the way. Riddle and Royer.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. Final B main of the evening. Oh, I'll tell you what, I saw a bunch of cars getting wonky and crazy out of turn number 2, and it really all started with the 39 of Spangler, and they stacked up behind. We're going to get back here close to the back. You're going to see Spangler up there getting the fence. It starts a chain reaction. That Stoles going around, and then Burke into the back of him, and that's going to put cars backwards, sideways, all over the racetrack. And you got to throw a caution here, slow things down just a little bit. Give everybody a chance to take a breath for a moment. Get this thing restarted, 10 laps to go. All right, with the 91 of Riddle out front. Royer, Scheidt, Spangler, Sargent, Cooper, Jans, Silby, Gaines, Butler, Stewart, Moody, Flynn, Burke, Garrison, and Thomason. Justin Stoles off the track. That car damaged enough, he will not be able to continue. Looks like the lights have gone off. We'll be getting ready to go back to green here. Officially 9 laps. Let's see if it changes when we get back to the line.
Green flag, green flag.
It does. So 8-lap shootout here. Single file for it. Top 3 or 4 get through cleanly. We're going to go 2 wide back here. Cooper and Sargent are going to go at it. Cooper on the bottom. Dustin Sargent up top. Sargent will prevail, and he will hang on to 5th. Patrick Spangler still in 4th, right behind Ryan Scheidt. A big blink out of Riddle, but it didn't affect him. He stayed out in front of Royer, but I don't know if he's going to stay there for long. We reset back there. It did start with 10 to go. Now we're down to 8. This time Royer right against the inside wall, and the entry goes to the top side. Couldn't make it stick. Slider just was not ready to be stuck on that one. Whoa, and that time, yay. Riddle got way out of shape. And when Royer reacted, Royer's car went almost around, and he went from 2nd to 6th. And he is going to have a little bit of work to do right here. He's going to get back to what looks like 5th, maybe 4th when he splits between cars on the slider, and he will get back to 4th. Spangler's quite a ways out in front and reeling in Ryan Scheidt. Bryson Riddle almost a 2nd in front of the 10 car, and we'll have 4 to go this time by. Trevor Royer in that 4th spot after the mishap. Ooh, Dustin Sargent super sideways back there, and he and Richie Gaines almost get together. Sargent's car in the slick. Not reacting, I think, how he is used to it reacting. Maybe something broke. He might have got some damage from something, but right now we're going to watch because Spangler's reeling Scheidt in just a little bit. We're 2 to go, and I don't think anybody's catching Riddle right now. Car headed off the racetrack. Jack Burke takes the 17 to the infield. White flag in the air. Riddle's going to win this pretty easy. The battle is for 2nd and 3rd, and I think Ryan Scheidt may have driven the final nail in the coffin with a great run off the top of turn number 2. He'll take 2nd. Spangler 3rd. Royer will come home 4th. Then Jans, Gaines, Stewart, Silby, Sargent, Butler, Flynn, Thomason, Burke, Cooper, Garrison, Moody, and Stoles. So while we have 1 second, I need to look at something because I got to figure out one piece of the info. So we did have a little different transfer number than I thought we did. We took 2 from each heat, and we took 5 from each of our B-mains there. So some of the drivers we didn't think made it in did, and some of the guys I thought transferred straight from the features. That's why we saw them in the B-mains. That's why those B-mains were 17 cars apiece. So we're left with a 30-lap main event. What happened there? So we'll see how long they let the practice session run here. trying to read a couple of the notes. But this track is black from top to bottom right now, all the way around. So very, very slick. It's going to be bumpy at the top. It's going to be a handful for these drivers. Not quite as much dust as I thought there would be. Definitely not as much as there was last week. Man, it was dusty last week. Quick look at several of these drivers. All 20 of them are going to be out here in just a little bit. Couple of minutes anyway. Next show's Sunday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, Mars and their mini stock pavement series. We'll follow that up with Aces Up Sim Sports Pro Challenge Series, 410 wing sprint cars. I want to say it's round 9. I might be wrong. Might be round 8 for those guys. That's 8:30 start time Central, 9:30 Eastern. And Monday night, same time slots, 8 and 9:30. You'll have big block modifieds with the Dirt Slingers guys, and then their 360 wing sprint cars. I know the big blocks go to Knoxville. I think the sprint cars go to Lanier on that one. And Tuesday night, I don't know if the ERA guys are racing Tuesday night or not. I'll look at their schedule. I know that I have it. Probably have it pretty handy right here. The new one isn't posted, so we'll have to wing it. Not a lot going on. We'll be back here next Friday for sure. Everybody else is kind of off for the holidays. New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, I don't think anybody's racing. So it'll be Sunday, Monday, Friday this coming week, and Sunday, Monday, Friday the following week. And I think the week after that, or no, that is the week. That's the week the DSRL finishes up their season on the 30th, and then that next week, there'll be no shows on at least Monday and Thursday, as we will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Chili Bowl for the prelim nights. Hello, Cody Terry. Welcome to the chat. Keep seeing you in chat. Don't see you on the racetrack. All right, let's get ready to look at the starting lineup for tonight's 30 lap A main. John Helms and Joseph Grandy will adorn the front row, the 210518. 91 of Ernie Williams. Whiskas, row 2 inside with Sean English in the 960 on his outside. Your third row, Matt Grimm, the 91. Kenny Hoffman in the 11, inside and out. And then the fourth row, on the inside, the 40 of Chase Stewart. The outside, Sean Smith in the 30. Chase Wolf, well, he's got the inside starting spot in row number 5 next to Rick Main and Cole Ferguson and Brayson Riddle in row number 6 inside and out. Josh Whiteman and Ryan Scheidt, 24 in the 10 cars, row 7. The 88 of Gentile, the 39 of Spangler making up a row 8. Row 9 is going to be Dylan Berg on the inside and Trevor Royer on the outside. And your final row for tonight's 30-lap A main, Brad Waite and Corey Jans inside and out. All right. 20 of them. It'll look really dusty while they're all bunched up, but that will taper down as soon as the green flag drops and these guys start to spread away from one another. This track, dead slick. There's a teeny tiny little strip down against the inside wall, and there is a teeny tiny strip up there at the top, but it is rougher than a cob up there. So these drivers are going to have to be very careful. Tiptoe around. Really use more foot than hands to drive the car. Be smart. Try to bring it home in one piece. If you can do that, I think you're going to get a good finish out of this. But it is race time. Thunder and lightning time coming out of turn number 4. American Dirt Series round number 2 from Eldora Speedway. 360 wing sprint cars underway.
Green flag, green flag.
Helms to the top, going to grab the point. Grandy will come off the top side and take second. Now it's English and Williams side by side as they went into 3. And boy, I'll tell you what, you come out a piece of paper between the two of them, and English used the top side to take the spot. Now Williams is 4th. Here comes the battle for 5th. Grimm was on the inside, Hoffman up top, and Hoffman will prevail. Move him to the top 5. He's going to go for more. To go right after Ernie Williams, and look at that, Sean English after Joseph Grandy. They work it out quickly. Grandy's momentum broken enough that Williams was able to get by. Now he's right up against the fence. He's on a podium in a 3rd. Hoffman tucks in behind. Smith tucks behind him. Grandy is all the way back to 7th already as Stewart goes by as well. Contact there between Smith and Grandy. They were almost 3 wide. You got to look down there on the bottom, the 14. That is Chase Wolf, and he was trying to take a peek. Chuck Gentile has an issue in the 88 car. Oh, he and Ryan Scheidt tapped, then Spangler, then Trevor Royer, and Trevor Royer's car might be broken. He may be done. Looked like the rear suspension. Look at that left front. 2 feet off the ground. And the right front all cambered in. So Gentile may be finished as well. Let's go see. Yep, Trevor Royer. Gonna roll it back out. May have just been a broken shock and they got it fixed in there. But I saw the left rear of that car sink down and get on the dirt. So go back to the front where Helms has the point. English, Williams, Hoffman, Smith, Stewart, Grandy, Grimm, Wolf, and Whiteman are making up the top 10. Then it's Ferguson, Riddleberg, Jantz, Waite, Spangler, Main, Scheidt, Royer through 19th, and Chuck Gentile. Does not look like he's going to make it back out. That car was heavily, heavily damaged. I mean, super broken. But we'll double them up and get ready to go back to green. All right, coming out of 4, pace truck getting out of the way. Back to green flag racing. John Helms, another good start. Sean English quickly to 2nd. Ernie Williams used that inside line, and Helms getting a great start to get himself up to 3rd. Now bumps the fence, getting into 3. 3 wide, he'll go. He is going to get slid by Hoffman. Stewart had inside position, and he went right between them and went right back to the 3rd spot. Ernie Williams, no prisoners taken. Now Stewart, Hoffman, Smith, all right there. And Smith is going to grab third. Hoffman and Stewart are side by side for fourth. Grandy's still back there in sixth. Make it seventh now as they settle everything in front of him. Look out. Here comes the 91 car. He came in from one of the B mains, and he is already inside the top 10. As Riddle now. Oh, a 2-for-1er. That's contact. This is going to be pretty rough and tumble right here. Everybody going to get away. We're going to stay facing forward. That is going to break things up a little bit. There goes Chase Wolf up against the outside wall. Front end of that car pointed at the dirt. Suspension is broken. There goes Joseph Grandy rolling by. I think he's got right rear damage. He is just going to eke it into the pits as the leaders started to go by. Let's go back here and watch this. The 14. Yeah, that's where he ends up with the problem, but that is not where that problem started. Yeah, that was not where that problem started. That started way before that. So we're going to slow things down with our second caution. We still got 19 laps to go. Helms, English, Williams, Smith, Hoffman, Stewart, Riddle, Whiteman, Ferguson, Jans in the top 10. I think it all started when Riddle made that pass. Maybe right here. And this just starts stacking up cars. And that's kind of where that whole thing started. So we'll double them up. We'll get ready to restart them one more time. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to see that throwback in the feature myself there, Mr. Reynolds. So better luck next week, sir. All right. Pace truck is in. We're back to green flag racing. Oh, they were 2 wide, 2-3 deep right there for about fifth on back, and they are still going side by side. Hoffman is one of them. I know that 11 car just with a quick glimpse. He and Whiteman are right there. Now it's Smith in front. They're going to single it out through the top 4. Make it the top 5, top 6. Jans and Scheidt going at it back here. That's 7 and 8. Caution one more time. Where's our caution flag coming? Right here. Oh boy, we did not see this one. There's a lot to unpack in that one, but that is a Daytona Talladega type wreck right there. On the front stretch at Eldora. One car got out of shape up on that cushion. It looked like the bumps kind of got him out of shape, and they were packed so tightly that little reaction caused a big, gigantic chain reaction, and that's going to put a lot of cars in the infield. Helms is still out front. English, Williams, 2 and 3. Smith is now 4th and Hoffman 5th. Whiteman up to 6th. Jans is 7th. Scheidt 8th. Spangler, after early trouble, gets himself inside the top 10 in 9th. And Trevor Royer, who came from way back in the field. I think Trevor Royer started somewhere around 18th. And he is just into the top 10 here. We're almost to halfway.
Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
Joseph Grandy bring the 518 car back. Yes, he did. He's a lap down, but he is back on track. Stewart, Riddle, and Wolf appear to be our retirees. So we're going to have 17 to go. All right. Pace truck's out of the way. John Helms on a single foul restart this time. Looks like everybody's going to survive turns 1 and 2 on the first lap. Top 5, 6, 7 are single file. It ain't until you get back here. Corey Jans, the first car not in line. And he is running just about a car and a half down from the outside fence. Ryan Scheidt will go by on the top side. Spangler tucked in behind. Trevor Royer going to the bottom. We'll see if Royer can do anything coming up off of the inside. Shortest way around, but he also got to be the most careful and go pretty much the slowest right there until you can get to the exit. And he is not making up any ground on these guys in front of him. Rick Main is now reeling him in 11th. We're going back closer to the front because not much has changed till you get to Sean English, who now has a pack of hounds behind him, starting with Ernie Williams. Then Sean Smith and Kenny Hoffman, and they are all bunched up. John Helms right in front of these guys. He has either backed the car up a little or something is starting to fade on the 21. We'll be around for 12 to go, and the top 5 are just about as close as they can be. Hoffman with the slider. Wow, that was a good move right there. Isn't going to net him anything, but he almost got to Williams, and he went right between Williams and Smith. Opens up the door out of 4. Now he gets past Sean Smith for that 4 spot. John Helms under fire out of 2. Here comes English, and English is going to go by with the slider. Will we have a new leader at the line? Yes, we will. Sean English for the first time tonight leads the feature with 10 to go. Slider from Helms, crossover from English, and now Ernie Williams is right there on the back of the 21. 21 car starting to fade and fade quickly. Goes for the slider, pancakes English into the fence, and there's your top 5 right in the middle of the mess. Kenny Hoffman will get through Sean English. Trevor Royer and Ernie Williams, Ryan Scheidt all going to get into a scrape back here. Haymakers from the other side of the county right now being thrown out here as we come around to 7 to go. Helms through one. Netted him back the lead. Hoffman and Whiteman. Top 3 right now. Spangler right on the outside looking in. English able to regroup, and he's hanging on to a 5th place spot, at least for the moment. But Jans and Main are tucked in behind him. Going to be 5 to go. We'll see if Kenny Hoffman has anything left in the tank to go after the 21. Can Whiteman close the gap and go after both of them? Wave a lap that time, 5 to go. Whiteman, slider on Helms, and Josh Whiteman now up to 2nd, at least for the time being. Three to go this time by. Helms out to 3/4 of a second. Spangler's closing in on these 2. Podium spots are not decided whatsoever. 2 to go that time by. Helms still out in front at 0.6 of a second. Hoffman is still second. Whiteman was third. White flag coming out this time. The 21 of Helms. Keep it together for one more lap, and he'll win at Eldora. Hoffman went for a long slider, didn't work. Helms is going to win it. Hoffman second, Whiteman third, then Spangler and Gents 4 and 5. Maine was sixth. Ferguson, Grimm, Gentile, Royer, English, Waite, Berg, Smith, Grandy, Scheidt, Williams, and Stewart through the 18th spot. And then Riddle and Wolf 19 and 20. So we'll give the boys a second to make it 2. Josh Whiteman, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, it was a tough one for sure. An interesting one to say the very least, but a podium finish for you in that 24 car tonight. Tell us just a little bit about the feature.
Just trying to stay as clean as possible, keep out of trouble, and be patient, be smooth, and it all worked out. This is one of the better runs I've had in quite a while, so I'm pretty happy.
Well, you're sitting there about 5th or 6th, and with just a handful of laps to go, calamity in front of you. What'd you see out of the cockpit?
Opportunity. They were all at the bottom, so I just stuck to the top and drove by them and set sail from there.
That's a race car driver. He said, I saw an opportunity. There was a sliver of space, and I'll be damned if I didn't go for it. That is a race car driver's answer if I've ever heard one. Josh Whiteman, give me some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you get out of here tonight.
Yeah, thanks to Cody for putting the league on. You, Roger, for putting on this broadcast. You do an awesome job. And thanks to all the people over at Scott Thomason Racing, especially Scott. He believes in me more than I believe in myself, so I got to give him all the credit in the world. Chad Griggs from Aces Up Sim Sports, also part of our team. He does a lot for us. He's a great dude. Appreciate him. And then, yeah, just the rest of my teammates for being a good group of guys to hang out with and race with. And, you know, I'm glad STR's kind of getting our footing back here. So it's been a struggle the past 2 seasons. So glad to get some podiums for the team tonight.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you next week, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Roger.
That is Josh Whiteman. He finishes in 3rd. Let's get down here at Kenny Hoffman. Kenny Hoffman, you there, buddy?
Yo.
All right, man. It's getting pretty regular getting you up here to talk to you after one of these things tonight. It's a 2nd place finish. And it was not without some adventure.
Yeah, it was really hard to pass on. We passed a couple cars early, got the 3rd or 4th or whatever the hell it was, and we got a yellow, and I just kind of got chewed out and be on the outside on the double file restart, and then they magically decided to move to single. So I wish they would have done that sooner, but they didn't. And we were just kind of cruising for a bit. I wasn't really expecting too much with how slick it was. I was just gonna run smooth and clean and see where we ended up at the end. And once I saw the sliders going between Sean and John and Ernie started getting up there, I kind of knew something crazy was gonna happen. And you know, we guessed it right, and we kind of made it through the wreck. And after that, you know, we had severe damage on the left front. It was not really fun to drive at all. So to salvage a 2nd place after that is pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you're riding around there, everybody's starting to get a little close together, and then all hell broke loose. What did it look like from your vantage point?
Yeah, it was exactly that. I mean, all hell just broke loose in a matter of seconds. I saw the slider, and I just kind of was a little sketched out at the moment. I mean, I didn't really exactly know what was going to happen, but uh, yeah, when I saw all of them there, I was just praying to not get ran over because I lifted off the gas quite a bit to not get involved into the accident. So, it's unfortunate. Someone behind us just drove straight through. I mean, the wreck was coming down the track, and he just full pin right into the wreck, and it kind of ricocheted up and snapped our left front a little bit. So, but like I said, to come home second after that, I'll take it.
All right, man. Shout outs and thank yous before we let you head out.
Yeah, just shout out to this whole KHR team and what we've been able to accomplish lately. Shout out all my teammates, and then also to our sponsors, Aces Up Sim Sport, Johnson Kite Racing, JRB Designs, KSMS Racing Media, Casey Simon's Photography. Huge shout out to Colin Bocus and Bocus Built Sprints for getting us dialed in every single time around the track. And also huge shout out to Fusion Setup Shop, who's new partners with us. And shout out to teammate Cole Ferguson. He got into some controversy and drove all the way back up to seventh, I believe. So good run to him, and yeah, thanks for broadcasting. Thanks for the league for putting us on.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. And I'll look forward to seeing you Sunday night, bud.
All right, thank you.
Kenny Hoffman finishing in second, and now we'll move on. Started up front. He led it all the way to the end. He drives the 21 car. John Helms, another victory.
Yes, sir. How we doing?
Not doing too bad. I am disappointed that Max is not on that car, by the way.
Sorry, repeat that again.
Said I am disappointed that you don't have Max somewhere on that race car. And next time I see that car, I want to see Max somewhere on that car, okay?
All right, we'll do. We'll have that done. Our whole team, I don't know if you noticed, our whole team has all like, the reindeers and Christmas cars.
Yes, I did. I saw all that, and you got the Grinch, and I was upset that Max isn't represented on there because he's integral to the story.
Yep. I was the only one who didn't want one, so our wrap designer said, all right, you're getting the Grinch car.
Well, you get what you get. So I want to ask you a couple of things. One, how treacherous was that track? Because it looked like it was just super thin, both the top, the bottom, and there was absolutely nothing through the middle of the corners.
Yeah, that top was super thin, dude. I couldn't have been more than 80% throttle most of the time. I mean, here and there I'd be more, but that was tough. And Sean had a really, really good run on that cut down. Like, he was flying, but I was holding on for dear life, to be honest.
Well, I want to ask you, there towards the end, you went for the slider. And you guys were pretty much side by side. I just looked like once you committed, you were stuck to it no matter where he ended up. If he was beside you or behind you, I thought if he wasn't there, you may have still gone into the fence all on your own.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I felt like I would have cleared him, but I guess not. I still got to watch this replay back. But when I was throwing those sliders, my car felt way more hooked up sliding like through all that slick than it did up top. So I felt pretty confident I would clear him. I tried to apologize to him, but he left before I could. But yeah, I had no ill intention to like take him out. I was just trying to, put on a show and get the spot back.
Well, heck of a run. You're going to end up on the podium up there on the top step, man. Give me some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you go celebrate with your team.
Alrighty, yeah. Thanks for all the boys in Discord, Tanner Butler, Bandits Designs. Yeah, just everybody in Discord, all the fat chicks in the stands. Gotta appreciate them too. And you guys for broadcasting this, and ADS for putting this race on.
All right, man. Congrats on the win. Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, see ya.
John Helms picking up the win tonight. 30 laps, and I'll tell you, it was exciting and interesting 30 laps, tough. And these guys, they know the track's going to get slick, and But a lot of them super prepared for it. And you heard him say he thought the car was better in the slick. So you're doing something special if you can get the car to hook up in the slick. That is going to do it for us here tonight. I want to thank all of you for being with us. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this. Without all the great leagues giving us fantastic racing like we've seen all week long here, there's nothing for us to cover. Pats on the backs, high fives all around. If we do not see you again on Sunday or Monday next week, please have safe and happy holidays. No matter whether you're traveling or not, be safe going wherever you are going. Get back to us and come say hi in the chat the next time you see us. And until then, keep the rough side down. Peace and love to everybody. You got to keep it dirty at all times.